I try not to be completely black-pilled all the time on this channel, but I've just come to realize that MAGA, and by that I mean Trump's movement in general, and it's really cold right now, so that's why I'm wearing all of this. I'm not doing like a Tim Pool, just wearing a beanie to be cool. It's actually raining today. It's really cold, so I didn't want to like turn on the heat because I don't know, I tend to like overheat easily as well. So anyway, that's why I'm wearing this getup. I kind of realize looking into the camera I look a little bit weird right now, but anyway, back to the point is yeah, I try not to be black-pilled because, you know, I am a Trump supporter. It's really stupid. Like those two hats right there, I bought one of those hats. I actually had 3 hats. I gave one away. But I bought one of those hats in 2017. I bought another hat in 2020. That's the one I gave away. And then I actually have a new hat up there. I think it's that one right there that has 4547 on it. So I'm not a Trump hater. And this could just be a symptom of me being on social media too much lately because, frankly, I've got nothing better to do right now. Can't find a job, you know, just kind of sitting around reading, thinking. And so, yeah, you know, going on social media, I'm not getting in fights with people because I don't even respond to half of these comments, but just some of the stupid things I see, like if I criticize Trump at all, I get called anti-woman, I get called pro-gay. This is what's so funny is I'm literally none of these things. I'm probably, as far as gayness goes, right, probably one of the most homophobic people you'll ever meet. I've always been that way. I can't stand it. But again, I don't need to get into all that because the point of the video is that just MAGA, that they're just stupid. I don't know what to say. Like, they have drunk the Kool-Aid again. And it's just like this weird shift. Like, during Biden, I would criticize Trump for being too weak in 2016 and all that. And I would get all this agreement. But now that Trump is in office, if I'm not completely on board with everything he's doing, you know, I'm a black pillar. I'm negative, blah, blah, blah. And what caused this, you know, this, what spurned on this video, you might ask. By the way, my name is Joey. This is the Jigsaw0097 channel. If you like these videos, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe kindly and like the video. Still waiting for comments on here as well, but, you know, given what's happening on Facebook, maybe that'll just depress me as well. But at least it'll give me more things to talk about. But yeah. So basically, what spurned this on, and I talked about this in my last video, is my last like rant video about how nothing is happening, because I still believe that. We'll see. You know, Tom Homan, he's talking about going after politicians, but, you know, Pam Bondi today as well said that there's no timeline on the Epstein list now. And you know why? Because it indicts everyone. Hollywood, the media, and the government. They're all in on this. And I won't really go super into detail, but essentially it's PED stuff, if you guys know what I'm saying. PD0, PED0. Read the code of what I'm saying, right? It's all to do with that. It's you know, whether you like J. Edgar Hoover or not, I don't really like the guy, because I think the FBI was created to fight the mob. And similar to NATO with the Cold War, should have been disbanded after the mob was defeated. The mob was created by the government, by the way, as well, because we created prohibition. So that allowed the mob to make tons of black market income. coincidentally the first issue that women ever voted on. But I think that the reason they're not going to release these files is because it's everyone, which I don't understand it, because I've talked on this channel myself. Like, I have a pornography problem. I'm pretty open about that. We all do now. That's the world we live in. So the only, like I don't mean we all, I just mean we all live in this degenerate society, is basically what I'm saying. We're all coping with modernity, right? We all have probably a vice. You know, we are in the fallen state of the human condition, as I view it from a very Christian perspective. We are struggling, and we've opened the floodgates to degeneracy. Like I said, I'm watching a series called What in the World is Going On, and I don't really, the actual person making the video, I don't like him per se, but he does a very good job in that series of just kind of laying things out. And he was talking in the most recent video I watched about a thing called mystery knowledge, which I never considered it that way, but essentially this is knowledge that just like predates everything. This is why he's funny, because his solutions are very like anti-Christian. Like, he's doing a whole video on about how like all religion is mind control and all, which is funny. I mean, a lot of religion is, but you know, that's the problem with the libertarian mindset, is that you can grandstand and you can point your fingers, which maybe this is what Trump supporters are doing. You can grandstand, you can point your fingers, but at the end of the day, if you're not actually doing anything, you're not using power. And that's my criticism of Trump. That's like all I'm criticizing, is that he has a mandate from the people right now. He was elected for a specific task. The biggest one of those is mass deportations. And he's getting up there talking about how he's going to put tariffs on other countries' film industries so that we can create our movies in Hollywood again. It's the dumbest thing I think that might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen Trump do. Like I said, I've been with this guy for the entirety of his presidency. That is the dumbest idea. Especially with what's happening societally, with the momentum. Like, Hollywood's dying. Let it die. It's a complete degenerate. It produces nothing but filth. All the movies suck. It's all just a girl boss, you know, that the men are effeminate. It's just furthering the propaganda. It's furthering the despair of modernity. Also, again, ties back into the Epstein list. What do you think Hollywood was used for? There's a really good movie, by the way, that I would highly recommend anyone watch, called Babylon. It was made in 2022 with Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt. And I might start doing movie reviews again. I've considered that. But the reason why that movie's so good is because it shows you, this isn't like the 1930s. Hollywood was always degenerate. It was never about anything other than sex, basically. That's really all it was. It was just so that people could have crazy amounts of sex and orgies. It's that simple. And this is a vice as old as time. So this is like what they won't reveal, right? They're afraid that it's going to crumble the whole system, which, you know, it should, but like in modernity, we all are compromised now. So I just don't understand the reticence. I don't understand what the hell they're waiting for. And so, yeah, like I bring up these valid points, and this is numerous things with Trump, right? He's not doing everything bad, you know? I think he's trying. Like, I don't think he's just like, other than like the Israel issue, he's pretty good. But he just has a bunch of morons in his admin, like last time. And so you know, these videos might age like milk, or they might age like wine. I don't know. I'm making these videos because I need to talk about this stuff to somebody that can understand, that can comprehend. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking into the void at this point. I say that a lot because, you know, I'm trying to revitalize the channel, not getting a lot of you. The loneliness I've felt in the last year has been probably the most I've ever felt in my entire life, if I'm being honest. And again, it's not driving me to suicidal thoughts or anything like that. It's just this, like, you wake up every day because you have to. You know, you eat because you have to. And then, I don't know, I just kind of sit there and think. Go to the gym, obviously. I haven't been doing that as much lately. That's probably... But, I don't know. I think the right wing doesn't exist. That's another thought. There is no right wing really in the world right now, because the quote-unquote right wing is just what a 1990s Democrat was. There's like a saying, I can't remember who said it, that Bill Clinton was the greatest Republican president that ever lived. And it's, if you go study what Bill Clinton did, I mean, he was more radical than Trump. That's something I try to point out to people as well, is like, Reagan wasn't your friend. You know, Reagan set in motion a lot of the stuff that has caused this situation. Started before him with Jimmy Carter. If you want to go back in time to the nearest Republican president, it was probably Nixon. And we all know what happened to Nixon. Even JFK, he was not, again, he was way more conservative than any conservative now, but JFK was still a bleeding heart liberal at the end of the day. He was still for the civil rights and all that. But he was kind of like a Trump of his day. He was balanced, I'd say, because that is what it is. Trump is balanced. I'm not making this video to just completely crap on him, but he's not really a Republican. He's like he's Trump. I don't know. He just does what he wants to do, but he's always been in bed with our greatest friends over there, right? He's you know, he's got like Howard Lutnick in there. He's always had these people around him, and he is definitely a Zionist, even if he doesn't know what that means, right? A lot of boomers don't even know what Zionism is. He is a Zionist dispensationalist, which means, all that really means for you, if you're not religious, is that means that your tax dollars are going to continue to fund a little special someone over there, even at the expense of our own country. That's really what's been bothering me the most, is that they should be the last thing, the absolute last thing on our minds right now. But you have this religious line of thinking in Christianity where they think that this has to happen, right? Essentially, like that the third temple has to be built, right? It's a way of forcing the eschaton to happen. That's kind of a nutshell of what, maybe I'll make like a deep dive. But again, these are not YouTube friendly topics. That's why I don't want to go into these too much. But it's unavoidable. There's nothing else to talk about. If Trump doesn't face that problem, which he won't, almost every other absolute problem that he's trying to deal with won't matter. Like, another thing is he's trying to fix the economy, but we just need the recession at this point. We've needed the recession for 2 years. 2022 was really when we needed it. I got laid off in 2023, right at the beginning. But I saw the writing on the wall in 2020. Like, the moment they started giving out stimulus checks, I mean, the writing was on the wall, guys. That's why I took that huge break from YouTube for so long, because nothing made sense anymore. I was like, I mean, maybe I should have kept chugging along. I'd have possibly a good stream of income off this channel if I would have done that, but just nothing made sense. I had to figure it out. Now I feel like I'm in a good position. now to critique a lot of things. But then I realized that, I moved on, but the world has not. That's what it is. And I don't say this to be haughty or arrogant. I've said in the past, all I did was read books. All I did really was read books and listen to podcasts on various topics. I've listened to left, right, center. I've listened to communists. I've listened to stouch capitalists. The whole spectrum. Satanists, right? Like, I listened to Styx Hexenhammer for like 2 years. He makes me cringe now, but I listened to him for 2 years, and Stefan Molyneux, he's not a Satanist, but he's very much an atheist libertarian. Like, I listen to these guys, so I'm not just like completely biased. I've come to my conclusions through a lot of diligence and just years of thinking, pretty much. Because what else can a man do nowadays, right? Men can't date. Can't really date with any intent anymore. Almost every girl I've dated in the last... I've really only dated 2, but... every girl I've dated in the last 5 years has just been a miserable experience overall. And I won't go into too much detail about it, just out of respect, because I'm the kind of guy where if I date someone, I don't like to criticize the actual person, because I did choose to date them. So like, and it's a two-way street, right? I share equal blame, but there is the malaise in society right now, and I think that's the core of this. To wrap it up about the whole MAGA thing. And this is something that a lot of MAGA cannot recognize, right? A lot of the left can't recognize. That's another thing MAGA needs to realize, is the left does actually have valid critiques. When I come out and say something about Israel, it doesn't mean I support Palestine. I get that all the time. As if I care about Palestine. I care about the Christians over there. But that's like 3%. I don't care about the Middle East at all. That's what they don't realize. I don't care about Ukraine. I don't care about Russia. I care about America, because that's where I live. I live in this country. I don't know how that's so hard. This is another thing about MAGA, is all last year, and I worked in this. I worked politics last year. All last year, all I heard from everybody was how anti-war they are. But now that's completely shifted. Now it's we have to help them over there. This is mostly the boomers. I don't know who this is. This is not all of, but the really diehard Trump supporters. This is kind of their line of thinking. They're incapable of thinking outside this paradigm. And so, to kind of, like I was going on to like wrap this up, because we're at 18 minutes. I'm going to try to make these videos a little bit more digestible for you guys, because I've been checking my metrics, and it looks like a lot of you guys aren't watching past like 5 or 6 minutes. So I'm not blaming you. That's like my fault as a creator. So, and I know my video quality and stuff, my presentation isn't the best, but to kind of wrap it up, is there is a general malaise that's going on, and for me it's twofold. It's one, we've rejected God in the modern world. I made a whole video about that, 40 minutes, if you guys want to check that out. We've rejected God in the modern world. And then 2, men and women cannot find each other anymore. I mean, there was a graph that I was looking at of how the political divide is so wide between men and women now, that you just have men on the right and women on the left. It's literally like it's created a literal dialectic between the sexes. They can't find each other anymore. They argue over the dumbest things ever. It's just, everything's political now. We all know what women's number one issue is. It's the only reason they vote, we found out, right? Is their rights, which all that means is free access to abortions at any moment. And then we know men's motivations as well. Men, a lot of the men, the normal men like myself, we just want families. But then there is this like elite. So I hate the manosphere. There's this elite faction in men that's trying to get men in line, but in the cringiest way possible. Just go, yeah, form your own harem of women, and which, by the way, this only works for like 1% of men. That's something they never tell you. Form your own harem of women and go out there and grind. There's no discussion of children. That's the real takeaway. No discussion of family formation. No discussion of children. It's just what can the woman get out of it and what can the man get out of it. The child is the last thing. The last thing. Women are even choosing now to have children as single mothers through IVF, which is a very depressing reality if you want to think about it that way, because that means you're gonna, and men are talking about artificial wombs. If that ever becomes the case too, it's just men and women having children without the family unit. So yeah, that's the core. It's that simple. No, there is no political solution to this until we face the music. You can go on with rhetoric all day about how you're going to tariff the world to fix the economy, and that's going to, right? He's talking about giving money to women to help with their child raising, which other countries have already tried this, by the way. It doesn't help your birth rate. In fact, it encourages exactly what I just said, more single mothers. So anyway, I've ranted enough. These videos go way off topic and kind of all over the place, but I appreciate you guys if you've been watching as I've been scheduling these out, and let me know what you guys think. And my name is Joey, like I said. This is my channel. This is what I'm going to be talking about going forward, because I don't know. It's dire, guys. It's extremely dire right now in society, and I'm just tired of pretending that this is normal in any way. It's not normal at all. So thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you all later.